morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer and I have an exclusive clientele of 6 and 7 figure CEOs. But you are my mission. My mission is to help entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to make it to their first 6 figures in business. I want to show you how to make the money and create time freedom. That's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. And just so that I don't have to tell you the whole journey, I currently am living in Mexico. Okay, now let's talk about blog talk. We've already released the subject for the week, but also for the day. So all week, what we have been talking about is bridging the gap with touch points, okay? Touch points are simply how many times do you quote unquote touch your clients or potential clients, right? So research shows that you need to touch them at least 7 times because that's how long it takes for some potential clients to become a client, to make a buying decision, right? But also when you have clients, when they become your clients, after they buy, okay? After they give you their money, they still need touch points so that they don't have buyer's remorse. Thank you, Demetra. And so that they feel more loyal to you as a client, okay? So touch points are important. They really are. I'm gonna tell you like this. I hate to give somebody my money and then I don't hear from them for a while. It instantly makes me feel like maybe you're a fraud, right? And especially in the days of Wish, where you get all across social media, this is what I ordered, but this is what I got, right? So I'm already nervous about giving my money. And then if you don't, give me any kind of follow-up communication, tell me, what the process is going to be like and all of that, I instantly start looking crazy. Okay, so your clients probably do the same, especially if you have high ticket services or products. Okay, the more money they give you, the more communication you need to give. And this week, I've been giving you different ways to give that communication because that communication are touch points. Okay, so on Monday, we talked about touch points for marketing. On yesterday, we talked about touch points that are visual. Some of those I kind of say that the visual is a subset of marketing, but they're so unique that they become their own section, right? Their own category. So visuals. So if you want to know about the marketing touch points and the list that came with that, check Monday's replay. If you want to know the visual category and all the touch points that went into that, catch yesterday's replay. Today, we're going to talk about thought leadership as a touch point, okay? That's the category, thought leadership. If you are an expert, and the service of your business is dependent upon your expertise, you need to be doing touch points that show that you are a thought leader, okay? Now, notice how I didn't just say expert. It says you are a thought leader. That means you lead with thoughts. If you think the same thing that everybody else in your industry thinks, you're not a thought leader. You just have the same thoughts as everybody else. Lead means go first, right? So you need to be expressing the thoughts about the things that are missing in your industry, right? The things that people aren't being told, the things that are valuable, a part of them getting value from your industry. You need to stand up, right? And be a leader and explain those thoughts, share those thoughts, okay? And the touch points that you can do that are speeches, presentations, trainings. Now, let me tell you something. I went fast with those for a reason, because what we tend to do as entrepreneurs is we tend to roll with buzzwords, right? And what buzzwords do is just what people are amazingly calling things right now. But things really have real meaning. And sometimes the buzzwords take the meanings out of it. So I want to stop right here and tell you there's a difference between a speech, a presentation, and a training, okay? Speeches are just you sharing thoughts. And that's fine. It's nothing wrong with any of them. I just need you to know the difference, okay? Speeches are you sharing thoughts. Presentations are you sharing something, right? You're demonstrating something. You're presenting it, okay? And training is you're doing a how-to, right? You teaching someone else how to do something, okay? So that's the difference between speeches, presentations, and trainings. But either of them are examples of thought leadership. They're touch points for thought leadership. Okay, let's talk about something else, right? Or let's go on with the list. Borrowed audiences, right? Every audience doesn't have to be yours. You can go and borrow audience. Hey, you know somebody who has a grouping of your people? Go and ask that person, can you talk to their people? Because their people are also your people. Okay, so that's another touch point of thought leadership. Media, right? Media, if you could be a feature or you can be quoted in an article, all of those things. If I ever present to you or train to you, I rattle off some of my top media, right? Because that adds credibility and it adds more of my thought, it adds power to my thought leadership, right? So media is great. And so you can go to Help a Reporter Out, Hero, and figure out what are reporters looking for these days. Okay, that'll be a great one. And I have a couple of more I'm gonna share with y'all on that too, because I learned 2 other resources for that. So I'm gonna share about media in a moment. But publication. Did you know that you don't have to wait for media to come for you? You can actually write for highbrow publications. It's called contributing writing. So there is definitely not a magazine or publication out there that don't have people that are not on staff, that are independent, that write for them. Now, you may not qualify for them all, but I bet you qualify for some. Some that I have written for are the Good Men Project. I've written for Thrive Global, and it's not hard to write for those, okay? So you can go and figure out what is the contributing writing. How do you become a contributing writer for some of your favorite publications that will add as a touch point, okay, for your thought leadership. Content, your very content that you're putting out on social media, the blogs that you're putting out on your own website, those types of things. You need only have some topics about your expertise to make that a thought leadership touch point. Okay, all of my blogs, well, most of them are about my thought leadership. There are a few that are about my nomadic lifestyle, but most are about my thought leadership. Okay, so you actually don't have to wait on anybody else. You can do your own. So your content, they call it social media because it is media. But some of y'all are so social, you forget that it's media. Use it for your expertise and be a thought leader because that's a touch point. White papers, that's usually in academia. I wish Dr. Tachi was on now, right? But it's usually in academia that they use white papers. It's like no frills publications. But if you are in academia or you're academia adjacent, you can do a white paper. In fact, it's funny because you don't even have to be academia adjacent. You can just do like some type of white paper and tell people it's a white paper and explain to them what white paper is. And they might give you more credibility because you wrote one, because they don't really know what it is. Heather laughing, shut up, Heather, that's our ancestors. Okay, so industry awards, right? You know, as a part of my introduction, I say that I am an award-winning, and I point, right? Because I've gotten an award based on my revenue that I have garnered based on my expertise, right? So that is a touch point. When you get your award, you usually get it in front of people, right? So that's a touch point. Every time you tell somebody about this award that you've been given, that's a touch point of credibility and thought leadership, okay? So, ladies, you know what the question is. The question is, speeches, presentations, trainings, borrowed audiences, media, contributing writing for publication, content, white papers, industry awards. What touch points are you going to add into your business for your thought leadership? Okay, so we're going to start with Demetra. Demetra, what touch point are you going to add more of?
Good morning, everyone. You know what? I think I am going to do industry awards. I have Teacher of the Year and, plenty of other types of certifications and things that I just do not display or don't mention.
Yes,
so
I need you to do both, display and mention.
Display and mention, yes.
Yeah, because guess what? That is a thing that helps to make you stand out. So if I have to pick between tutors, which one do you think I'm going to pick? The award-winning teacher that's a tutor or the person that's just a tutor?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you should be doing everything to give yourself an edge.
And should I also certifications that are applicable to what I'm doing now?
Yeah, and that should be, so not only should you display them because you have a brick and mortar office, right? But you should also have them as part of your bio.
I do, but don't do, yeah, okay. Thank you, Shay.
Of course, of course. Auntie Shaky, which one of these touch points for thought leadership are you gonna start adding? And why are we looking at your dough and half of you? What you doing over there? Look.
That's so funny because I'm trying to figure this stupid camera out. Okay, so the purpose of me okay, this is just
That's
silly
a little
now.
better. Look, scoot over. Look, scoot
Right,
over.
exactly. So one of the things that I got from you without it being like today is awards, right? So I was like, oh, okay. So in the background, so I need to start saying award, winning and talk about more of the awards that I have won in my industry. Also, something you talked about too was becoming a contributing writer for being a thought leader in my industry. But I have a question later that I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay, not a problem, not a problem. All right, Teray, what are you going to start adding in?
Presentations and contributing to publications.
Okay, presentations and contributing to publications. All right, cool beans. I love it.
Yep,
okay, Heather. Well, really, Tracy is next. Tracy, what are you going to add for your thought leadership?
Good morning. I'm going to add speeches, presentations, and content. I'm going to create a blog.
Love it. Yes, everybody should have a blog. If you do not have a blog on your website, you are playing yourself. Let me tell you, because content is trying to get people's attention so they can see you. However, blogs show up when people are searching for what you're an expert in. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Okay, no, I see shaky moving. My internet has been shaky ever since the storms. Okay, so thank you, Tracy. Heather, what out of, let me give the list again so that Dr. LaFera can hear it and be thinking. So your thought leadership touch point list is events, presentations, trainings, borrow audiences, media, publication, content, white papers, industry awards. What are you going to start implementing, Heather? Now, Heather, you are a journalist, so you do media, but you don't do media for your expertise though, right?
No, I do not. And clearly that should change. Because I talk about it for everybody else. Like yesterday we were, we were talking about the car wraps and not dismissing the power of proximity. So don't dismiss your local media. Like you can, there's a list of reasons why you should be writing a press release and trying to get in front of your local media, because your next customer could be down the street, right? Like that's just how that works.
Love it, love it.
So there's that, but also I do not refer to myself enough as and it's, the phrasing is awkward, but I am the editor of 5 bestsellers. See, it's
best-selling books.
It's a mouthful.
Yes.
But yes, there's that.
Okay, cool beans. All right, Dr. LaFera, I've primed you up. Which of the list of touch points for thought leadership are you going to start incorporating?
Is this that I haven't done already, or is this that I'm going to start doing?
Either start doing or start back doing, but you're going to incorporate it.
Incorporate it into my bio?
Your business, period. Bio is one way.
Business. Okay. So events, I've done some, but I'm gonna start. I'm trying. Like last night, I was up last night trying to figure out how to do like some more like events, like even like as far as the products, like going like doing shows for women like locally and like maybe even virtually. And so like I kind of figured out how to do really well on social media for right now. Like so I'm gonna use that as a way to promote it. And then like let's see, blogs. I wrote my first blog in about a year, like 2 days ago, and posted it. So that do that regularly, like maybe once a week. Then Awards. I guess I could start giving out some awards to women who've overcome challenges, so I could make that a thing. I will make that a thing. And that'll put me in front of women who've overcome, particularly like health challenges. So that's some of the stuff.
I love that. I love that. I really do. We got Clarissa all the way from the UK in our comments. Hey, Clarissa. She said 100. She got the bullseye and a check mark. So there we go. We must be doing good. And congratulations on your recent event, Clarissa. It seemed like it was awesome, awesome sauce. Okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about this media. Because some of you think that getting media is elusive. It's only for the celebrities and all that. It's really very easy. Like Heather said in our in-studio comments, she said, media loves content they don't have to produce. So you can easily pitch media stories that have a great angle, right? If you give them the angle, quit waiting to be discovered and start putting yourself out there, right? So you can easily pitch. If you have a great angle, for example, I'm on a lot of podcasts because in my introduction, I let you know that I work my business from anywhere in the world. I'll give you my whole thing, right? I was in Belize. I was in Mexico for 3 years. I was in Buenos Aires for 1.5 years. I'm back in Mexico, whatever. I just had my 5-year expat anniversary, right? I'm always putting that stuff out there as a part of my content. So guess what happens? What ends up happening is people find that a great angle for me to talk about things to their audiences. Right. So that's why I'm forever on a podcast about a lot of stuff, but mostly on, being an expat or, living outside of the country, just different things, being empowered, having freedom, all of these things. So people love to bring me into their audiences, but I have also been pitched for media because of that. Okay. Delta Airlines did a podcast, and to my knowledge, at that time, that was their first podcast. I don't know if they've done another one, so it may be their only podcast, right? So it was called To and From, and they wanted women or people who had incredible stories of living outside of the United States. And so I was pitched for that story, and what they did was they paid for me to come to New York for a week. Okay, put me up in a hotel in Chelsea where I had the Empire State Building right outside my window, right? Again, gave me money to spend for the week, okay? And guess what else? They only needed me for 2 hours at the end of the week. And for the 2 hours, I recorded a podcast that ended up being a 3-podcast series. If you are using your content to show your thought leadership, to press upon them the angles that make you different, it can pay off in exposure, right? It can pay off in more touch points to more people you wouldn't have reached otherwise, right? Demetra says she remembers that. Heather says she remembers that. Yeah, it was a big deal. Remember, y'all, I had y'all going for a long time. Y'all was like, what is she doing? Because I couldn't tell you yet. I couldn't tell you what I was doing until, they released it. I couldn't say anything. And then y'all realized that it was me and somebody else in my network at the same place at the same time. And y'all was like, something's going on. They got the same view of the Empire State Building. What's happening? And then people were inboxing us talking about, y'all in the city at the same time. Y'all should get together. But what y'all didn't know was Malika Holloway was my PR person. And so they allowed me to let her interview me for the podcast. So they didn't just pay for me, they paid for her too. And we had a good ass time that week. Went to the wax museum, all kind of shit. We had a good time, right? So your angle could be the thing someone is waiting for to get a new something out there. Because like Heather said, reporters, if they're not an investigative reporter that's looking for the wrong of the city, you know what I'm saying? Around here acting like Batman and shit, they need these stories that are like good feel stories. I forget what they call them. I had it on top of my head and I forgot, but they need those feel good stories.
They're feel good stories.
Thank you. Okay. So let's go into, I wanted to share, we talked about Heyro. I'm gonna talk about it more in a minute, but I learned of another place called quoted.com, but quoted is spelled QWOTED. Okay. So quoted.com. All right. I also learned, and it's kind of Heyro-like, and we're going to talk more about Heyro in a minute. I also learned if you went to Twitter and you put in journal, request hashtag journal request, then you will see where reporters are out there on Twitter looking for people to give them information. Experts, okay? Experts. So hashtag journal requests. I'm gonna put these in the comments on Facebook. I'm already putting them in the comments in studio. Yes, Terkel is one. So it's TERKEL.com. Terkel, okay? Now Heather says she don't like Hero. Well, Heather, you are right now being what do they call it? A bougie reporter. So Hero works.
I'm being a bougie reporter.
You are.
No.
You're being a bougie reporter right now. So let's go into Hero a little bit. So Hero is an anagram that stands for Help a Reporter Out. You can go to helpareporter.com and sign up. Okay. Now, this is a great thing about Hero, because don't pay Heather no attention. We'll let her give her objections in a minute, but just know it works. Okay. But it works in two different ways. You can be a source for media, but also if y'all want to do podcasts, you want to do your own magazine, you want to interview people for your blog and all of these things, maybe even for your virtual summit, guess what? You can also be, like a reporter and ask for people. Okay. You want to write a book that has a series of quotes from experts, you can put that out there on Hero to find your experts to bring in. Okay? Look at Heather. She like, this bitch makes me sick. Yes, it's like AI. I have to make you think differently, Heather. Stop being bougie. All right, so that's Help a Reporter Out. Now, I'm going to tell you about Help a Reporter Out. Do not sign up for Hero with your business email address, okay? Because faithfully 3 times a day, they're going to send you about 5 emails, like once at like 5 in the morning, once around lunchtime, once around like 4 in the afternoon. That they do that faithfully every weekday. And it's going to be more than you can keep up with. Don't have that in your business because you're going to bog down your business account. Okay. You're going to bog it down. Dr. LaFera said, that's hot. Hero got her into Essence. Yeah. Keep giving me the reasons why Heather is over here being bougie. Okay. So yeah, sign up for it with another email address. Okay. There's another one called Source Bottle. Let me put that out there. Source Bottle. It is more international. Most of the stuff I see on Source Bottle is like Australia, but Dr. LaFera, you in particular, and Kimberly Miles, if you're listening, but y'all with those beauty products and stuff, they're forever doing roundups for beauty products and stuff, where you send a product and you get on these guides or gift lists or get reviews and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing I definitely like Source Bottle for. Us service industry business people, we have a harder time finding things good for us on Source Bottle, but it's a great way to get some type of international media, okay? I know that's right, Dr. LaFera. I'll take the spam to get free. So that's Help a Reporter Out. And then we did Source Bottle, okay? If you want to pay to have press release, now, if you need help doing a press release, please get with Heather, okay? Please, she knows what press release work. She know what works. She know what elements to put in there. So get with Heather. Heather can write you one. No, it is not free, okay? However, she can write you one, and she can spend more time writing you one than most would do, okay? And then there are free places that you can put your press release, but there are also paid places that have a wider net and probably better resources to put your press release in for higher publications and places of media to see your stuff. One of them is called ProfNet. That's PROFnet.com. They will do it for you. One is called PRNewsWire.com. Okay, so these are paid places that you can put your press release and get media leads. All right. Let's see. I want to talk about contributing writing. So to be a contributing writer for the Good Men Project. Now, you don't have to be a man to write for the Good Men Project. Your subject matter just has to be for men or males. Okay, so you could be a woman writing for them. I wrote an article about how to raise strong daughters because I was a strong woman, and what were the factors that made me stronger based on my childhood, right? And so they did that article in the Good Men Project. But in the comments, I'm going to go and add the link on Facebook of how you can sign up to be a contributing writer for the Good Men Project. The studio guests already have it. Okay. If you want to just write it down, goodmenproject.submittable.com/sign up. But again, I'm going to put it in the comments later. All right. That's the Good Men Project. Thrive Global, which to me is even easier to write for. thriveglobal.in/stories/becoming-a-thrive-global-contributor. Okay, again, I'm going to put that in later. But if you can become a contributing writer for those two, what that does is it allows you to then, that's like a phase 1. It allows you to then get published through them and then move on to a phase 2 for people like Addicted to Success, Business Insider, Success Magazine. Well, we're going to stop at Business Insider. That's phase 2. Phase 3 is like Success Magazine, Huffington Post. Phase 4 is more like Fast Company Magazine, Inc. Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine. But you got to start somewhere. Oh, yeah, thank you. Heather, it is Turkle.io. When I said .com, I hesitated. Thank you. Turkle.io, if we go backwards. So TERKEL.io. To go back to places where you can, like Hero, that you can get different media, y'all. Okay, so with this new information, I expect y'all to become your own PR agent. Okay, I expect y'all to start getting some things done with getting your own media. Because when I tell people that, you know, I've been featured by Delta Airlines, Time Magazine, Thrive Global, all of these big names, right? Most of that came from Hero. Now, sometimes I've been in the right place at the right time. I've already told you I got pitched for Delta Airlines and got that, right? But I had a PR agent at the time. However, I've gotten media just by being a part of something happening at the time. So on Clubhouse, at one time, there was this guy, and I forget the guy's name, to be honest with you. I probably should pull up my article to see. Let me see if I can find the article, pull it up and see. But basically what happened was dude made a huge mistake on Clubhouse, and he got, they went after him. And I was a part of the day of the people that had something going on with him. So I think he attacked Asians or something, but he was a big name influencer. He attacked Asians, and it was all on Clubhouse. And I was a part of one of the huge rooms talking about it. And I was on the stage, and a lady came in that was from the media. And she basically said, hey, if anybody wants to talk about this with me, you know, I would appreciate it, whatever. Well, people don't know how media works, so they weren't really paying her no attention. But I know how media works, so I knew she really needed like some quotes from somebody, whatever. And so I contacted her, and she ended up publishing me, and that ended up being Yahoo Financial. So that was cool as heck, to be honest with you. I need to pull. So y'all, I'm gonna tell you like this, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that whatever classifications and organizations I had when I was younger is not working for me when I'm older, because when I go to find stuff, that ain't where I'm looking no more. So I don't know. But anyway, you got the gist of what I mean by what the article was about. But yeah, so look for opportunities. When people are saying, you know, I would like to interview for this, that, and the other, whatever, go ahead and volunteer. Now, again, you should be able to take everything back to what you do as an expert, okay? Everything. I don't care if they're telling you about ham sandwiches. Remember, we did this exercise last week. I don't care what they're talking about and what they need. You need to get what you need too. So you need to always be able to take it back to who you are, what your expertise is, and how you're a thought leader, right? I have a client, and that client is Dr. Joffrey. Dr. Joffrey is an ER doctor who gets a lot of media around COVID. COVID is on the rise again, y'all. So I don't know if you want to pull your mask back out, stop going in so many crowds with everybody coughing and shit. It's back, okay? So He's about to be back on the media circuits talking about COVID. However, we've released this immunity vitamin line, right? Since COVID hit. This is an opportunity for him to get people to know about that vitamin line. However, if they need him to come on as a medical correspondent to talk about COVID, he can't just start talking about his vitamins, right? So what did I do? I changed his bio. Okay, and his bio says he's the physician founder of shieldvitamins.com. I don't even say Shield Vitamins, shieldvitamins.com, right? Where can they find you at the end? info@shieldvitamins.com. You see how I put that in now? Find a way to get your expertise in there. It should be a win-win. It shouldn't be you just giving value to whatever the media is. It should be you being able to get eyes on what you do and how you make money, right? So you need to have a bio that includes your stuff. You need to have a byline, right? Heather, I'll let you explain more about that. When they ask you about, where can they contact you, I'm gonna need you to use the social handles that you use for your business. Use the email that you use for your business, okay? Heather, we got about 6 minutes. Take it away.
Okay, so the reason I don't like Harrow is because the
Bougie.
list is the list is very long and you have to be really fast to respond. So like the 5 a.m. ones, if you're not up at 5, like chances are you're probably going to miss the opportunity if there's one in the list. So I'm just warning you about that. The list is comprehensive though, but also just to piggyback onto what Shay said about Dr. Joffrey. So his expertise is not necessarily infectious disease, right? But he is about prevention. And so he is hijacking the news. He's newsjacking to get in front of the media as an expert source. So when the financial markets take a shit, that's going to be shaky. She's going to come in and be like, hey, if you did, like the financial markets are down right now, here are things that you can do to bolster your bottom line as an individual. And then as the markets start to get better, here's how you can build your wealth back, right? And then protect it as you go forward. That's going to be her thing, right? School just started. So Demetra is going to be like, hey, did your kid experience the summer slide? Like, let's get your kid caught up so that they're up in, back into what they need to be. Ture it's dating, it's fall. It's like a new year. Like, so I feel like the year starts new in
It's cuddle season, ain't it? It's what we call it, the draft. It's the dating draft season.
Yeah, right. So here, do you really want to spend winter alone? No. Here's how you can, here's things that you can do to get in. And then Tracy, I'm not as familiar with your business, but based on your book, right? We all are dealing with some trauma things. So how can you, as you get into especially when it comes to applying for new jobs or whatever, the fall is the best time to do that because businesses have opened up their budgets and they're ready to hire for the new year, right? So here's how you can overcome some of your people pleasing so that you can get the job you want, keep it, and retain your sense of self, right? So, and then Dr. LaFera, with your skin care and all of that sort of thing, you already know how to get in front of the media because, you've done it a lot, but I'm just there's a way that you can use newsjacking, right? Piggyback on current events and find out how you can be the commentator, the go-to source for that current event. So
Love it.
You can do all that. And it is really easy to get in front of your local media, ridiculously easy. And I can help you with that if you want. So.
Especially when you have a local business. If you're hyper local with your business, kind of like Demetra is, why are you not using your local media, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about Roz and Gabby Goodwin of Gabby Bowles is Roz stay in front of her local media, right? She so much so that when she has an event, all she has to do is invite them and they're coming with the TV coverage, right? So why can't you do the same thing, right? You can. So I love it. Shawana has joined us on Facebook and she said, Heather, she loves it. So I have put all the links on the Facebook broadcast. So if you guys missed any, they're in Facebook in the comments. LaFera said, I was loving your catchy titles. Cool beans. Let's see. Everybody said, thank you, Heather. So thank you, Heather. But Heather, stop being so bougie. Jesus.
It's not bougie, but as
It
a
is
member,
bougie.
it is
So
not.
if they miss the 5 a.m., they getting another set at noon. If
I'm
they miss
aware.
noon, they
I'm
getting another
aware.
set in
I'm
the
just-
afternoon. You miss that, guess what? Another day is coming because they finna give you them 1,000 damn email lists.
Which
They
is why
finna
you
do it.
don't dismiss the power of proximity for your local media.
You don't.
Heather, you're
It's all of
bougie.
it.
Own it.
She
You're
is.
bougie.
First of all, she a Libra, so we close to them Leos, close enough. We go over Virgo, we go over one more, it's a Leo, so we all bougie in one way or another. It's just that Auntie Shaky is the most bougie as a Leo, so there's that. But hey, I'm not gonna bring y'all into the astronomy of things, the astrology of things. Yeah. LaFera says
New moon
she's not
tomorrow.
bougie. Heather, can I have a title? She wants you to give her a title, Heather. LaFera, come off the mic and tell her what title you want before she leaves, because you know she got to leave at 9.
Oh, yeah. So, I had a publicist too. So that's one of the ways I got in front of the media some. So for
Mhm.
most of it. So like, give me one of those catchy titles, like what you were saying, like,
Well, for you,
skincare and
well,
beauty.
it depends on what part of your business you
And
want to.
women over 40. Okay. Women over 40 skincare. Give me a skin.
Right. Okay. So menopause is a pain in our ass all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Your skin was oily, now it's dry, or it's dry, now it's oily. You don't even know like what to do. So what you want to focus on is like the holidays are coming and
Yep.
fall is a time of change, right? So focus on the fact that this is a time of transition. We're transitioning into fall as your body transitions, and as the holidays approach, you want your skin to look amazing for your company parties, your family gatherings, your girls' trip, whatever it is that you're going to do to celebrate, right? Like and you can do that. And more importantly, like your stuff is not about how it actually like looks. Yours is all about feeling. How do your products make people feel?
Ooh, I love it. And before you leave, Heather, Shawana said she do her. It's like we playing punch buggy. Do me.
Heather.
Shawana, I'll text you.
Shawana, she says she'll text you. She got to go. So, all right, guys, we're at the top of the hours. Heather has to go. Bye, Heather. So this is your last chance to ask any questions. Today was, I'm telling y'all, don't be missing our morning show. You never know. You never know what's going to happen, because this is I have an entire 90-day visibility plan that I sell that maps out all of this stuff. I sell it. You guys got some of that information, some of the key information for free today. Y'all better, I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all better tell your little business besties to get their asses in here, because they is missing out, baby. All right, Auntie Shaky, what you got?
Okay, this was a whole plug. This was a whole, whatever that is you selling, what is it? That
The
you selling?
90-day visibility plan.
90-day visibility plan. Can you drop the link?
Drop the link. I tell you what, if you're going to be in the workshop tonight, I'll give it to everybody in the workshop for free. How about that one?
What time is the workshop?
The workshop is at 7, but the replay will be available.
Oh, the replay will be available. Okay, cool.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
signing up
So
for the
shaycannon.com/KPIS. Get in on this workshop. Excuse me. Because as people who have been in my workshops before, what they know is if we talk about anything and I have a resource for it, they get it as added bonuses every time. Every time. I think Demetra got so much shit right now. She probably forgot all the resources she got, because she done been in every workshop I've had. And what happens is we actually have conversations when you're in the room, right? So when you're in the room, we have these conversations. And anytime the conversation goes well, oh, you probably should try the media. Anything I got on media comes out, right? Oh, yeah, you need a content plan. Oh, anything. So that's what usually happens, because they love their little bonus vault. Let me tell you.
This was a whole plug. Like, oh my God. Okay, but okay, the question I had though, that came up earlier was when you said that you'll get on people's podcasts. So I've been on 3 podcasts just this week alone. And what people normally, so I talk money and relationships. And so, but mostly what's hot right now is talking relationships. And then we get in a little bit of money. Like, is that still like okay, or should I?
No, so I'm gonna be on anybody's podcast. I don't care what they talking about. Okay. Now I want their podcast to have my people in the audience, because I told y'all about that summit I was on that didn't quite have my people, and them folks that showed up for my webinar kind of struck a nerve. But if they have your people, right, all you have to do is make, and this is your responsibility. If you're waiting on the person interviewing you or giving you their platform to give you an opportunity to say something about your stuff, you are missing the opportunity, because their mind is on the value they need for their audience. Your mind should be on the value that you need from their audience, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm gonna talk about relationships all day, but guess what though, Auntie Shaky, you're the financial matchmaker. That's already a correlation to relationships. So I'm gonna let them know, hey, just like you trying to find somebody in the right marriage, and just like in the US, 50% of marriages go down, but the percentages of marriages going to divorce in match-made marriages in other places is significantly reduced.
Exactly.
I can match make you to your financial solutions to the girl, please. Easy peasy.
Yep. That's exactly how I play
I
it.
don't care
too.
what
That's
you give me to talk about. I'm gonna bring it back to whatever value I need to be highlighting at the time.
Okay.
Sometimes it's gonna be my business as a whole. Sometimes it's gonna be whatever workshop is coming up, whatever event is coming up. After this week, what you'll start hearing me talking about is next year's retreat, right? Shout out to Heather that just left. Shout out to Teray. They're coming to the retreat, and I mean, it's countdown. It's less than 14 days now, I do believe, right? So what I'm gonna start doing now is creating FOMO. Y'all missed out on this year. We're about to have fun. So I'm gonna start talking about it. Then the week of, we're gonna be sharing different stuff, going live and stuff. But guess what? Go ahead and get in on it for next year. So yeah.
Sweet.
Anything I do, I can bring it back. And you guys should. And that should be fine, right? Now, they might not want you to, like, you need to ask sometimes, like when you're on other people's platforms for bar audiences, you can't always give a link to sell your stuff, because they may be using your value to sell their stuff. So, but you should always have a link to a lead magnet. You should always have follow me on social media. This is why brand cohesiveness is important, because you should always be saying, follow me everywhere. I'm Auntie Shaky everywhere, right? Spell it out for them, because they're going to leave that E out your Shaky. They're going to spell Auntie with an I-E. Spell it out for them, right? But you should be Auntie Shaky everywhere. Not Auntie Shaky here and I'm Shaky, your last name here, that. Don't do that. Your last name, Webster, right? You should have brand cohesion. I can say I am Shay Cannon, COO everywhere. So that's why sometimes y'all be wanting them little cute names. So you want to be it over here and something else over there. No, pick a name that is the same across all stuff, even if you have to be creative, because it's going to serve you more in the long run. See, look at us going into brand cohesion. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, that's it, y'all. Any more questions before we get out of here? All right, it was a good day. We got one more category, y'all. One more category of touch points. That's going to be tomorrow. So stay tuned and get your business besties in here. Stop being selfish. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If you was my business best and I found out you was getting this good information, didn't share with me, I'm going to wonder if you was really my friend. Because how dare you, right? So get your business besties in here. Let them know that when you invite them, they have to accept the invite. We still got some business besties in limbo land because they haven't accepted the invite yet. So if you don't see your business bestie in here and you know you invited them, it's because they have not accepted the invite. Tell them to accept the invite. Let them know what they're missing out on. But let me also caution you. If you got some of them business besties that's hard-headed and they're not going to do nothing, or they don't think that your guru going to be their guru or whatever, the nonsense they got going on, tell them only a couple of times and then leave them folks alone, okay? Because the information is for people who actually want it, not just need it, okay? So do that, because some of y'all be going headstrong. Now, you need to go and come in the mornings and watch, and y'all friends be like, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Because they don't understand that for free over here, for free 99, we giving the good. But guess what's going to be the testimony to that? You coming up. And you're going to lead them right back. They're going to be like, how you got in Thrive Global? One morning in that group I tried to get you to come in, she laid it down. And she's not the only genius. We got other geniuses and we all share stuff. So you're missing out. It ain't just about her. It's about all of us together as a community. We are community building. Come be a part of the community. But again, don't beg nobody. I'm sure you taught your kids that. I know I taught my kids that. Don't be begging nobody to play with you. What's wrong with you? So don't you beg nobody to play with you. But do share. Share it. All right, guys, we are closing the studio. We'll be back tomorrow with our final broadcast and our final